Hey everybody, happy Monday. Thanks for jumping on. I'm going to go over CB Desk. I'm going to throw the chat on. So if you have any questions, you can either throw it in the chat or just pull yourself off of mute and ask me as I'm going through. So I'm not going to open up each tab unless you ask for something specific, only because that would take a really long time. So first and foremost, this is CB Desk. I'm going to go over a few things on here before we start diving into the tiles. QR codes are something that a lot of people are using now. So I don't know if you all know where this is on CB Desk, but if you come over here to marketing, it'll automatically bring this up. You can create your own email signature, but you can also generate your own QR code. So literally all you do is type your web address for your website in here, and it generates a QR code for you, and then you just hit download and you have that QR code to place on your business card. If you advertise at any local businesses, you have a flyer or something like that, or anywhere else really that you want to put a QR code. So it's free. You literally just come in here, type in the web address, and hit download. A cool idea. Somebody actually reached out asking how do I ask people for reviews. You can actually create a QR code for any specific page on your website as well, or you can create a QR code to link to like your Google business page if you want to do that as well. So kind of cool. You're not limited to just one QR code, so you can create as many as you want. Obviously, you don't want to be giving people marketing with like 10 QR codes on it, but use it for what it's worth. And I think QR codes are a great tool in this market, just because everybody got so used to using them for menus and things when COVID was more prominent. All right, so that's there. There's a ton of other stuff. So since I have a position within the company, some of the stuff that you're going to see on my CB Desk isn't necessarily going to be on yours. So just be aware of that as we're going through. But there's some other marketing stuff that's in here as well. There's some global luxury stuff. Social media is kind of interesting. So there's different stuff that you can pull from here about social media as well. So there's some guides down here. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, some cool stuff for that. And then you can just click on any of these. Obviously, you guys aren't going to have that recruiting one. Partners and services. So sometimes people reach out, hey, who's that home warranty company that we use? That stuff is down here as well. So AHS Home Warranty is in here. And there's flyers and things for the different companies that you can pull from here as well. So very cool stuff. Just to go back to the desk, right? So this is where all the tiles are. You can move and drag these wherever you want. I ordered them alphabetically for this training, just so that we can kind of go through things. But whenever you decide that, whenever you decide like, hey, I use these four tiles the most, you can literally just drag and drop. So custom drag and drop is what you're going to do there. And then you literally will just pull it and place it wherever you want to go. This can be frustrating if you have a touchscreen computer. I've seen many people try to click or scroll down and they grab the tile and then they move it. The way to get away from that though, is you can change how this is set up so it won't be able to drag and drop if you want to do that. But for the ease of this training, we'll go A to Z and go through it. So if you're looking for an app, you're like, oh, for some reason, I'm scrolling and I just can't find it. You can start typing it in here. So MarketQuest, I'm going to look for that one. This used to be MarketQuest V2. It is now just MarketQuest once again. This is where Trisha pulls those the stats that go into the office meetings, but we'll go over that then. Just a little reminder on that. You can also search up here for things as well. There's tons of other resources within here, but we're just going to kind of stick to the tiles today. So agent earnings, this tile may or may not be going away. So as you'll see as we scroll down through, there's an income and expenses tile that houses a lot of the same information that you'll find there in agent earnings. And anytime anything has to do with money, any of the tiles that has any of your bank information, credit card information, so your ePay stuff, any of that, you're going to get asked for a second verification, which is usually a text code to your phone or however you have that set up, just for a little extra layer of security. Agent generated referral. So this is a referral. Say, hey, I have somebody that's moving, out to California. I don't know any agents out there. You can put their information in here and it will find somebody within the relocation department out in the area that your client customer is moving to. There is another tile that's very similar to this. We'll get to that once we get there. I think it's like called register a customer or client or something. So we do have some duplicates. They're working through some changes, obviously. And another thing, just to kind of give you guys an idea, these three little dots here, there's always a help center for any of these tiles. So if you're like, I don't really remember what this is or what it can be used for, you can always click on the help center there. So Boost, HomeSpotter. So if you use Listing Concierge and you get those social media or online advertising that goes along with that, this is where your leads from that are housed, right? So if you're getting Listing Concierge and you've never clicked on this tile, you're missing a ton of potential opportunities for leads, right? So they gather the information after they do the advertising, and they take whatever information that they can get on whoever clicked on the ad, right? Phone number, sometimes it's an email, and it tells you what the people did as well. So they clicked on the photos, X, Y, and Z. So your Listing Concierge orders will be in there. You can also purchase advertising as well through HomeSpotter Boost. Create ads specifically for yourself, or for instance, if you have a listing that isn't selling for some reason and you want to continue advertising, you can extend the advertising through HomeSpotter Boost. Career Center, I don't know if you all have this one, but Realogy job postings, if you're ever looking for a paid position within the company, it's throughout all of Coldwell Banker companies, or all of Realogy companies, my apologies. CB Homes Admin, you probably don't have that one. So CBU Learning Center. So this is where all of the classes, all of the online trainings are hosted, or where you register for them. They're hosted on Teams, but all of the education that Heidi does, anything offered through the company, there are trainings every single day. This is where you register for boot camp, that Outlast program. All of the different trainings that the company offers are in here as well. And you just go in, click on the calendar, choose whatever training you would like to register for, hit register, and then it'll automatically show up on your Microsoft Teams calendar. So all you have to do then is click on that Teams link when the training is happening, and then go ahead and join the training. Commercial Edge, all of you are residential agents on here, so we don't really need to talk about that. And so in that, so if you are like, I don't ever use this tile, I don't want to see it, it's just confusing me, you hit X. It doesn't make it go away forever. You can still get to it and access it. It's just not going to show up here on your main screen. And once we get to the end, I'll show you how to pull any tiles that you may have accidentally out of to get back into. D-Signs, this is where you can order Coldwell Banker signs, riders, all of that good stuff. We do have a small stock here at the office, but you should be ordering these signs and these riders ahead of time, just for yourself, instead of coming into the admins and saying, hey, oh my God, I need this rider. Do we have one in the basement? So you can go in, and we don't always have signs in stock either. So if you're like, I have a listing coming up, I don't have a sign, that's where you purchase the yard signs. Design Concierge. So this is for marketing, right, yourself. There's different packages within here, simple ones from designing a logo for you, to creating business cards, to creating full-on branding material where you would have your own folders and listing presentations and things of that nature. So that is paid. It's you work with the marketing team in the back end. You get to edit things that you don't like, say, no, I don't like this. I'd like to see this. Again, they are paid packages, and there's a lower end package, and then it goes all the way up to a full on branding package. So it's cool stuff there. Exclusive look. I really like this, and not many people use it. So what this is if you have a want and need for a client that's just not happening on the MLS, right? I think we can all relate to that in this market. It's not happening. There is a spot in here. Actually, I'm going to click on this one. Let's just do that, because a lot of people don't use this. So you can actually add your listing into here to go out to the company, add listing, right? So sneak peek, visible to all Coldwell Banker agents 1 business day prior to MLS submission. If you, for instance, I had a phone call this weekend actually where somebody's getting a listing. The client does not want it to go on the MLS, but said, you know, if you can find me a buyer, if you have anybody in your office that might have a buyer for this, this is CB exclusive, right? So you can create a listing contract where we're only advertising to Coldwell Banker agents. That's obviously, unless that's a special request from your client, you're not doing them a service by not advertising it out to the masses. But cool stuff there. The other thing that I wish people used more often is this wants and needs up here. So if somebody's put something in, Michael has, right? So this is what Michael's looking for. Wants and needs, Hershey, PA, 4 to 500,000, 4 bed, 3 bath. If we all kind of use this more, I think maybe it would it would be more popular, right? So when people would come in and actually check it, oh, I have a listing coming up. Let me see if anybody has any wants or needs for that. Hey, I have, then you reach out. Hey, I have this coming up. It might fit what you're looking for. Just wanted to give you a heads up type of thing. So I wish more people use this. It's the only tile I'll click on unless you ask for something else. But this is here, and we could or should be using it. All right, cool. So insight, reports, listing views. So when you have a listing, this will give you a report on how many views it's had, right? So how many views it's had on the Coldwell Banker website, on Zillow, those types of things. Click on that. Your listings will be listed in there, and then you can kind of see how many people are looking at it. Listing Concierge, I hope we all know what this is. We've talked about it so much, but if you're not using it, I feel like you should be. I feel like it's a great deal. The cheapest package is basically what you're going to pay a photographer to do photos anyway, but the company creates other marketing materials for you. And then the packages change. You get some mailers and you get, twilight photos, things like that. So different packages, but at the very least, our base bronze package, I think everybody should absolutely be using when they have a listing. Professional photos, please stop taking cell phone pictures of houses. Anyway, moving on. MarketQuest. So this is where, those the stats that Trisha puts in the monthly office meeting shows Cumberland County, Dauphin County, Perry County, York County. You can pull anything from here. You can do year over year. You can do month over month. You can even dial it in a little bit more than county if you have somebody super specific that wants stats just on like Mechanicsburg 17050. You can pull stats just specifically for that zip code and give them those stats. It's really cool. There's a bunch of different reports that you can run in there. One is just that standard one that Trisha puts in the monthly meeting, but there are additional reports, longer reports that you can pull from there as well. All right, so Marketing Center, I did a training on this 2 weeks ago, possibly. So this is basically the new BrandServe. If you used BrandServe, so there's all of our logos, Coldwell Banker logos are in there, the different fonts that the company uses for their branding and advertising, the color code. So if you're trying to create your own marketing material and you want it to match up with the Coldwell Banker blue, that code is in there specifically for you to be able to use. And there's also, pre-made marketing stuff, just like BrandServe had, is located in there. It's a bit of a different process, and there are still some things that they're trying to work out in the system. So if you're getting frustrated, just reach out to myself, Jeff or Betsy, and ask a question. Let us know what you're frustrated with so we can hopefully get that fixed for you. Microsoft Teams has its own tile. We all know what that is. You're on it right now. This is just specific to pull up Teams. If you didn't want to log into Outlook 365 to then get to Teams, you can just click on Microsoft Teams. MoxieWorks, I really, really hope that you know what this is. So MoxieWorks houses your website, houses your CRM. There's also Moxie Present, which you can create listing and buyer presentations within it. And then there is also a marketing aspect that's in there as well. So there's 4 different parts to MoxieWorks. At the very least, we hope you're using the website and the CRM. My deals. So anytime you have a deal, you have a signed contract, a buyer agreement even, you enter your buyer in here, a property, you have a listing gets entered into here, listing goes under contract, that gets entered into here. You have a buyer that gets an accepted contract, you enter that into my deals. I think we all are familiar with that. My income and expenses, this is what I was talking about earlier, which is kind of similar to that other tile. So this will have your income, your closing income, and then also your expenses, your monthly expenses, right? So you have an office, or if you're mobile, that monthly expense will run through there. If you buy a folder or something from the admins, that gets added onto your monthly expense as well. You don't have this one. Next available appointment. This is a newer one. I don't know if anybody has used this before, but you can book exactly what it says, 20-minute appointment with field marketing, right? So you go in, it gives you a bunch of different things, options of what you're booking your appointment for. So Moxie, CB Desk in general, and then you can choose a date and time, and it'll pair you with somebody in the marketing department to schedule that appointment. I think Jeff and Betsy have their own links in their email signatures, but this is also something that's available to you if you want to get in there and just book it from here. Office 365 and email, right? So this is where all of the office stuff is located. So your email's in here, you have access to PowerPoint, you have access to Excel, and all of the office, if calendar, all that good stuff is in Office 365 and email. Preferred Alliance, so the company does have some deals and discounts set up. Specifically, when I was traveling, I used the discount code for a rental car. So there's some cool stuff in there. Just go in and check it out, see what you can get a deal on. Printer Cloud, or Print Cloud. This is how we Bluetooth print from our laptops, right? So if you have a tablet, a notebook, or a cell phone, it does not work. You can't print from it. New Chromebooks, there is a workaround, but other than that, this only works from laptops, but you can set yourself up to print on any of the floors here in Camp Hill, in Carlisle, in the Harrisburg office. You just click on that, find your location, and then install the drivers for the specific printers that you'll be using. If you haven't gone in here and aren't set up on the printers, there is a little bit longer process for the initial install of the driver. But once you've been set up for one printer, it's much, much simpler. You literally just go in, click Printer Cloud, and then if you're like in the Harrisburg office or in the Carlisle office, just select that office and then select the printer. You won't have to do any additional downloads there. Prospect Square, again, hope you all know what this is. So this is the giveaways or the entries or the charitable things that we do here within the company. Right now, Phillies tickets are going on. So this is the email that gets sent out to your clients or to anybody that you have in here in Prospect Square. And there's some reports and things and some email reports that you can get sent out to the people you have in Prospect Square. Get asked all the time, are my contacts from Moxie going into Prospect Square? The answer is no. You have to upload them separately into both programs for it to work. And again, Prospect Square, this shouldn't just be any lead you've ever heard, anybody's email that you ever had goes into Prospect Square, right? So these giveaways that we do, they're really supposed to be opportunities for you all to connect with your past clients or, warm leads, right? That people are going to be buying or selling down the road, giving them a good opportunity. And it, you know, if you get to present a $200 gift card, that's great. It looks like it's coming from you and you haven't had to put a penny into it, right? All right, moving on. I am speaking very quickly, so I hope you're all taking this in. RealVitalize, this is that renovation service program that we have. So if you don't know what that is, once you click on it, there's some resources in here, some contacts that give you some basic guidelines. So basically what this is your client can use your part of the commission and they can do some renovations on their property. They have to be contractors that this program has approved. I think Angie's List is now Angie, but I think that is a partner for this program. So basically, for simple math, right? You $100,000 house, 6% commission, your portion is 3%. Your client can essentially use $3,000 to renovate the property prior to listing. All the legal docs, all of the repayment, all of that stuff is handled by the RealVitalize people. So you are not on the hook for anything if your clients use this. But it's a great tool if your seller does not have money to put into the house and they could really use some work. Referral rewards. So this is that 221. So we are no longer using those paper forms. The 221 meaning you refer an agent at another company to Trisha to bring to Coldwell Banker, and you get 2% for 2 years and 1% thereafter that they are with the company from any of their settlements and closings. This is a tile now. You literally just come in, input their information, and then it gets sent to Trisha to reach out to them. And obviously, if you have any additional information, please reach out to her and share that. But no more paper forms, referral rewards, go in, submit, and she'll reach out. Register a customer. So this is the one I was saying is similar to that referral tile that we saw at the top of all of this. Register a customer for corporate relocation program. So that when you open them up, they look exactly the same. So I'm not sure which one is going away, but one of them will be. Rental decision point. So speaking back to the trainings that you can do through the CBU Learning Center, NTN is a training that you'll see on there. And if you complete that training, you then get this tile, which allows you to list rentals potentially, right? So, and have the credit check and performance info done on those tenants that of the property that you have listed for rent. So it's a program, the company provides it, they do the credit check, you send the link out and they pay a fee, the applicant pays a fee, and then you get the information into this platform. But you only have this tile if you go through that training. And again, it's NTN. And I think Heidi is hosting it maybe once a month, if not every other for sure. So Spark. So there are benefits in here. So I know that as independent contractors, we don't have typical health benefits or 401ks or anything like that. There are some opportunities for that here within Spark. So you can check that out. Transaction Manager. So whenever you do a My Deals and you submit the paperwork, it goes into Transaction Manager. So this is something that the admins keep up to date. You are not supposed to upload any documentation or anything like that into the system. But for instance, around tax time, some people will be like, do you have my settlement statement? Like my accountant needs it. You are able to go in here and pull those docs out. And then also everybody that, keeps files, paper files, things like that, or even just files on their computer. So we do as a company, we keep all of that information here, that everything that's submitted, let me just say that, in Transaction Manager. So you don't have to keep track of that. We have it in here and it's stored in here for you. Express Docs. So this is another marketing tile, right? So you've probably gone in here. So you can get business cards through here. You can do bifold, trifold, those listing concierge brochures. I guess they're just a bifold. You can order them specific to you. Then it would have your information on the back. and then it would have all of the different marketing things that you would do within Listing Concierge. But there's some other stuff in here as well. You can buy additional like just listed, just sold postcards, and Express Docs also allows you, well, they don't allow you, they mail postcards out for you. And the cool thing, one thing I really like about this is you can actually schedule it, right? So if you're like, I'm going to mail every quarter to my past clients, you can come in beginning of the year or any point in the year and set up those 4 mailings. So you could, today you could be like, all right, I'm going to do, you know, June, September, and December, and I'm going to set them all up today. You can upload a list of where you want them to go, or you can do a radius search if you're just doing random mailers, and you can set the date that you want them mailed. You can create the content, and it's just going to go. So very, very cool. Obviously, that's a paid service. Zip forms, you can access that through here as well. If you all remember the issue that Zip forms had where it wasn't feeding properly, I hope that you all took the time to go into Zip forms and update your username and password so that you can log into Zip forms directly. If that would ever happen again, that wasn't just Coldwell Banker, that was all feeds going to companies that have a similar link there. So if you didn't do that, reach out to me. I did do a quick, I think it's 3-minute video on how to update that. We're finally at Z. Add apps. So if you X out of something, like I said, and then you're like, oh crap, I actually want that, or I need that, right? So some of these will randomly be in here, maybe based on the fact that you don't ever use them or anything like that. But you want to come in, you want to add something, you just click on it or click on multiple, and then hit add, and then they'll show up here. So if you're like, I just want my screen to be as simple as possible, you could literally X out of everything that you don't use on a regular basis, right? So I would not X out of your email, out of Teams, out of my deals, out of Zip forms necessarily. But if you're like, nope, I don't want any of this stuff here. I just want it to look as simple as possible. Have, 4, 6, 10 tiles, and that's it. And everything else, I know where it is when I want it. It's down here in this add app. You can absolutely do that. And again, if you want to move these into a specific spot that you want them to be, you just come over here and do the drag and drop function. All right, guys, I word vomited for literally 27 minutes and barely took any breaths. So do you have any questions? Anything you want me to dive into further? Anything you want me to click on to show you how it works? Nothing? All right, cool. So I did record this. I'll send it out. If you have any questions or run into any issues with any of the tiles, obviously feel free to reach out. But as always, I appreciate you jumping on a Monday, and I hope you guys have a great week.
Thanks, Danielle.